That is enough said.
Happy Friday, Heat Nation. Your boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video. Guys, before we get started, you know the drill. I'm going to ask it anyway. Like, share, subscribe, because we are almost at 6,000 subscribers. Now that we got that out of the way, let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure, because this one is going to be pretty interesting, you guys. So Pat Riley's season-ending interview was today, and I'm sure some of you saw where I posted some shorts earlier about some of the things that Pat Riley said. I'll be posting more as the day goes on because I just want you guys to see little things that Pat Riley said. But I'm going to be honest with you. The interview was about 45 minutes, and what we learned was nothing. I mean, you caught a few tidbits, but I will say this. Pat Riley wasn't trying to do the same crap. You know, in recent season-ending interviews, Pat Riley's always been honest. He's always been real. He's always told people exactly what he's thought. You know, after the 2022 season, he called out Kyle Lowry, saying that he was out of shape. He needs to get in better shape. Then he called out Tyler Hero last year, saying that Tyler was fragile. You know, then he made the comments about Jimmy Butler when Jimmy Butler was trolling, saying, shut your mouth and get on the court. We've seen Pat Riley do this a lot. I remember after the 2014 season, he challenged LeBron James, Chris Bosh, and Dwayne Wade to come back together, saying it was easy to run out, and it takes a true man to come back and fight. This has been biting Pat in the ass now for the last 10 years. LeBron left after he called out LeBron. Kyle Lowry was just a shell of himself after Pat called him out. And Jimmy Butler got so sensitive with the comments, it ruined the whole Jimmy Butler build here with Miami. So you saw a Pat Riley today that I would honestly say was trying to hold off some of the things he was going to say. Now I will say, man, Pat Riley's 80 years old, and he looks great, man. You know, he doesn't look disheveled, senile. Like, the dude is on point. You know, he was actually reminding reporters that were way younger than him about certain things that would happen, calling out certain spots, you know, the way that he was discussing. It shows me and it gives me the confidence knowing Pat Riley ain't done yet. And I see a motivated Pat Riley. Now, I got to give credit to Pat Riley, you guys, because it would have been easy for Pat Riley to just bash Jimmy Butler, talk about how bad the situation is. He didn't want to do that. He put Jimmy over in wrestling terms, which means, you know, made him look good. Sorry, the wrestler in me comes out. Anyways, but he was basically complimenting Jimmy, saying how much he loved Jimmy, how much, you know, even though the situation was bad, doesn't take away from what Jimmy Butler did to this team. And that's exactly what I think all of us should feel. I know a lot of us are heartbroken about the whole Jimmy Butler situation, but we need to understand that sometimes relationships end. Not every relationship is perfect. Sometimes it starts great, but then people drift apart. And that happens with teams also. When Jimmy Butler and Miami Heat first got together, it was a match made in heaven. Then time went by, and it wasn't a match made in heaven anymore. So both parties had to separate. So I understand what Pat was saying there. I do respect the fact that Pat said, and I'll quote here what Pat said, "No, I'm not going to apologize for saying no on the contract extension when we didn't have to. And I don't think I should. I will always say that to players. If I was coaching, keep your mouth shut and I'll see you next training camp and you get back on the court." Here's one thing I want to say with that. Pat Riley's old school. He started coaching the Lakers in the 80s. Won 5 championships with them. Moved on to New York, moved on to Miami, won some championships here in Miami. And we need to understand that Pat Riley's just a different breed. He comes from a different cloth. You know, back then, you call out your players. When players are acting like punks or they're acting like divas, you call them out and they step up and they respond as men. But unfortunately, we live in a society today where the majority of people out there get butthurt with words. Like, words are nothing. They're just useless things that that come out of people's face holes. Like, who gives a crap about what somebody says about you? But these days in 2025, the world that we live in, words are just as serious as physical actions. So I respect Pat Riley for not going in that direction, because unfortunately, this is how people are today, especially younger people. They take words serious to heart. Now, one thing I will say about this press conference that I took from Pat Riley, I took two main things off of this, you guys, because it was a very basic press conference. Pat was answering questions very politically. It looked like he was kind of watching some of the things that he says. You know, he was tweaking little things here and there, but he was being very political. But one thing I will say that I caught from Pat Riley, he said, I think we do have to make changes. There's no doubt. There has to be some changes. And this is a great thing, because this is Pat Riley accepting that a move needs to be made. We know that as fans, but now we know that the front office knows that. And Pat Riley also said there are some lateral trades that can be made to improve this team. Do we inject the alpha, a great player to help maximize our performance in those double-digit leads that were lost? It could be that simple. Guys, the way that Pat was talking about Tyler Hero, that's another thing. Pat was talking about how amazing of a player Tyler Hero is, talking about how he wants Tyler to finish his career in Miami, talking about the type of scorer that Tyler Hero is. And I will agree with Pat, one thing he was saying, here in this Miami Heat team, Tyler Hero's the alpha scorer. And teams know that. And teams are defending against that. Teams are fighting against that with Tyler Hero. They're scheming against Tyler Hero. They're doubling Tyler Hero, and they're telling the Miami Heat, all the other players, beat us. We're going to stop Tyler Hero. We want to see your other players beat us. We saw that last year in the Boston Celtics playoff series. We saw it this year in the Cleveland series. So the only way that this Miami Heat team can actually contend again is if you make a trade. And how great Pat Riley was talking about Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, guys, tells me one thing. Pat Riley's going to go after Kevin Durant. I feel it. I sense it. I've been saying this for months, you guys. Yes, Giannis Antetokounmpo would be the perfect addition on this team, but we do not have the assets to get Giannis from Milwaukee. I know 1,000% Houston is going to be players this offseason. And depending how far Oklahoma City goes in the playoffs, Oklahoma may be players this offseason. These are two teams that destroy the Miami Heat when it comes to draft picks and young assets. The Miami Heat have them. The Miami Heat can offer up to 3 first-round draft picks. You have young assets like Kel'el Ware, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez Jr., Pelel Larson. You have assets, but it's not like these other teams have. Also, remember, you guys, Pat Riley has been dreaming about Kevin Durant since 2016. Pat Riley has made multiple attempts to get Kevin Durant, and it's failed. But now, the 2025 offseason, ladies and gentlemen, Miami Heat Nation, the stars are aligning together. Remember mid-season, before the Jimmy Butler trade was made, what was the rumor? The Miami Heat, the Phoenix Suns, and the Golden State Warriors were trying to get a 3-team trade that got Jimmy Butler to Phoenix and Kevin Durant to Golden State. Kevin Durant did not want to go to Golden State. He nixed that trade. So Miami had separate conversations with Phoenix and Golden State. The conversation that the Miami Heat had with Phoenix was for Kevin Durant, and Phoenix wanted the world, which made a lot of sense. Because when you're trying to make a trade mid-season, most teams have all of their spots filled. The salary cap is filled. You can't finagle trades. But in the offseason, when certain players become expired, your total salary drops and you're able to make some moves. Phoenix was asking for the world. Phoenix was at, from what I remember, they were asking for Kel'el Ware, Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez, multiple first-round draft picks. I believe they were asking for either Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo. Miami didn't want to do that. What's the point? Didn't make any sense. But here we are in the offseason. Phoenix did not even make the play-in, you guys. They were the 11th seed in the West. Ding, ding. They don't get to keep their pick. That pick goes to Houston. You also have Devin Booker, who is their star player that they're going to build around. And you have that mierda of a contract with Bradley Beal, where he has 2 more years with $50-something million each season, but a no trade clause, ladies and gentlemen, which means Bradley Beal has to approve the trade before the trade is made. No NBA team wants that. The only other player that has that is LeBron James. So Phoenix is stuck for the next 2 years. So that only leaves Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant and Phoenix have a problem. We know this. When Kevin Durant's name started getting thrown in the trade market midseason, pissed off KD. And the fact they didn't make the playoffs and the fact they're bringing this trash roster back, Kevin Durant's going to be out the door. He's 36 years old. He's on an expiring contract next year. It works. It works, guys. I keep saying this. And I'm going to continue to say it until the trade is made. This is the trade that works. Because what you can do is come up with a package of Andrew Wiggins, Duncan Robinson, Terry Rozier. You have 3 players that are going to be on an expiring contract. Andrew Wiggins has a player option for 2027. Phoenix can take 2 of those players. They can also take a young asset like Nikola Jovic, Jaime Jaquez. And Miami could include a future first-round draft pick and maybe even a pick swap and also some second-round draft picks. I don't think Miami needs to give up 3 first-round draft picks for Kevin Durant. He's 36. And for those people that are going to be saying, oh my God, I don't want KD, he's too old. Come on, stop it. The reason why you didn't pay Jimmy Butler, you guys, is because he doesn't play a lot of games in the regular season, but also because he plays a different style. Jimmy needs to get to the paint. He needs to get hit. He needs to get the contact. That type of play drops hugely after you turn 35. Jimmy is currently 35. So I know the back end of that contract is going to bite Golden State in the ass. Let's see. But Kevin Durant has a different game, you guys. He's an all-around scorer. He's a 3-point shooter. He's a mid-range scorer. He can score anywhere on the court. And that's why the longevity with Kevin Durant is going to be better. But let's accept one thing. He's on an expiring contract. And after the 2026 season, the Miami Heat could potentially have over $80 million in cap space. So this is a win-win. Yes, you give up Jaime Jaquez. Yes, you give up a future first-round draft pick. But you get a player that can help Tyler and Bam win now. And for those people that think that the Heat cannot contend with Bam Adebayo, Tyler Hero, and Kevin Durant as your top 3 players, you're wrong. Let me break this down for you. How many times did the Miami Heat have double-digit leads with this current roster? Yes, they blew it in the fourth quarter. They blew 16 double-digit leads in the fourth quarter this season. Why? Because teams schemed on Tyler Hero. They figured it out. Lock up Tyler Hero in the fourth quarter and you don't have a clutch player on this team. Now if you add Kevin Durant on this team, a guy who this past season averaged 27 points a game and one of the best scorers in NBA history, now you're going to have to give the respect to Kevin Durant and Tyler Hero. And let's not forget you have Bam Adebayo who can also score his fair share. It's going to open up the court. It's going to allow Tyler to breathe, and Kevin Durant's going to be way better here. And let's not forget, Kevin Durant has a close relationship with Bam Adebayo from Team USA. He also has a great relationship with Eric Spoelstra from Team USA. Let's not also forget the fact that when you're 36 years old, joints and muscles are a big thing. Playing in South Florida really helps. And then there's also no state income taxes, so that's another sell as well. So Heat Nation, let me know what you think. You think Kevin Durant is the perfect option? You think it could happen? Because remember, if you're going to go after somebody else, like a Trae Young, Giannis Antetokounmpo, John Morant, you're going to have to give up the farm and maybe even Bam or Tyler. But Kevin Durant is a player that you can trade for where you can potentially keep Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero. So I want to hear from you, Heat Nation. What do you think about the Pat Riley season-ending press conference? I know I started with Pat and I moved to Kevin Durant, but I'm telling you, that whole press conference told me one thing. Pat knows we need a change. He wants to build around Tyler and Bam, and he's going to go after Kevin Durant. So let me know what you guys think in the comments, Heat Nation. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. We're pushing to 6,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. Until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that is enough said. Happy Friday, Heat Nation.